Big progress this week. As you can see, last episode we had the insulation on. Now we got the skin back on. And it looks great. Got the roof on as well. It's going to be super solid, super sealed off, no leaks, which is always the goal. You do not want your camping trip ruined by a leak. So, next step, before I get ready to paint, because I'm waiting on my paint sprayer. So once I get my paint sprayer, we're going to prep everything, prime it, paint it, it'll be beautiful. So in the meantime, eyebrows. Unibrow, eyebrow. So this is really your first line of defense. There's going to be a strip of butyl tape right here. This is going to go in there, some 1/2-inch screws right here. Just will suck that right up. That'll be your first line of defense, shedding the water off the windows. And then when we install the windows, we're going to put butyl tape around that, seal the windows, and again, leak proof, which is the idea. Now, these are in great shape. Don't have to buy any new ones, so we do have to put a little bit of elbow grease into it. So I'm going to show you what I do to shine these up. I want to give you an idea of the things that I use. Here's our dirty, weathered, aged eyebrow. Some of the things I'm going to do, sometimes I use these pliers, some needle nose pliers. Sometimes I get my duck lips out right here, sheet metal pliers anyway. Sometimes you got to get in real thin on here, and you can just snap that down and work it right into place. But this one's in great shape, so I'm not really on this one. On these maybe, but on this one I don't really need to use any of those tools. But what I will be using is my first pass is probably going to be with this grade number 1. It's still kind of rough, but it gets all of this kind of stuff out. And then if it scrapes it up too bad, I'll go back over it with this double aught. And the double aught's really still a little abrasive. It's not like the quad aught or 4 zeros, but it's still good stuff. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little scouring pad here and try and get some of this dirt off real quick, because it's just old dirt that sat out in the field forever, and it's going to come off pretty good, but it's not really gonna shine everything up. You can see that's already made a big difference. So that looks pretty good so far. So, yeah, let me look at this here real quick. So there is some that's on here pretty good, but I don't even think I'm going to hit this one with the grade number 1. I don't think it needs it. These others will. So I'm going to hit this real quick with the double aught and see what the difference is between that and this. I'm taking this double aught right here, trying to hit these spots that didn't clean up too well. Just kind of give it a little bit of circular, little back and forth, just kind of hit it from different directions. Right here was the main offender. I'm going to get in there, but that's coming out real good. I hit this little back and forth. Give it a little bit of circular motion. I'm gonna wipe that up, and then we'll see how it came out. Here's one that I haven't got to yet, so you kind of remind you where we were, and you can see where it's kind of halfway corroded. Just has all that general field dirt on it. And here's the one I just finished. Look at how nice that is. Totally shiny, ready to go on the camper. Whenever we're able to save any of this original aluminum parts, I just think that's just part of the heart and the soul of the camper, and I love to reuse that stuff. I just think that it makes it a more complete camper. Wanted to show you though, sometimes if it's a little too rough, I'll scuff it up and scrub it up real good, and I'll take some of this hammered silver paint and paint that over the whole thing, and it kind of has this little kind of look to it that I really like. I'm not going to do that on these because these are in great shape. Another option, you can order them off of RV sites in white. So if you want it white and not aluminum, just order them that way, and that looks really great. So all in all, the main thing to remember is just don't go past grade 1 on your steel wool. That's really going to be too much. Sometimes really grade 1 is too much, but I wanted to get all that dirt off of there, and that took me to the extra step to kind of brush out all of those swirls in it. Paint it, don't paint it, whatever you want to do. For us, this camper, we're going to paint the whole camper, the skin, the roof. Going to paint it white and then put a detail color at the top. We're going to leave these original as they came from the factory, which would be aluminum. And then the more people walk up to your camper, they're like, man, that looks great, vintage retro camper. Then they walk inside and they're like, this is great. They don't notice the little details. They just know it looks great, but it's really vintage, and that's kind of what we're looking for.